Hello everyone! Today's book review is going to be on the Inheritance series by Christopher Paolini. Sorry, I butcher names, I know. And so far there are 3 books, and I haven't been keeping updates, so is there going to be a 4th or what's going on? I don't know what's going on, but here's the first book, which is Aragon. Why don't I know how to work this? Aragon. The second is Eldest. And the third one is Brissinger. I suck at saying things, but just correct me whenever I'm wrong. I don't mind being corrected. And so, about the author. Christopher Paolini's abiding love of fantasy and science fiction inspired him to begin writing his debut novel, Aragon, when he graduated from high school at 15 after being homeschooled all his life. He became a New York Times bestselling author at 19, and he was inspired by Montana's dramatic landscape to feed his visions of Alagasia. So yes. Anyways, these books are pretty cool. They come with this map. I think the map is fantastic. And this is a basic fantasy novel, you know, with the elves, the dwarves, dragons, of course. You know, just those 3 elements automatically make it a fantasy. And of course they're humans. And you've got your young hero who is human, and he has this bond with his dragon named Saphira. She's a blue dragon. And that's what starts his adventures. And his name's Aragon, and they set off on this main adventure. It doesn't get too crazy. He doesn't have these like random series of adventures. There's a main storyline. And the first 2 books, Aragon and Eldest, were freaking fantastic. They were phenomenal. I love them. And this is a young adults novel, and so it's not like I'm used to reading adult novels, but this is great. The first 2 books, wow. I was amazed. I just got lost. I didn't care if it was like a young adults book. I just loved it. It was fantastic. It was worth my time. And what I loved about it was the detail, simply. The way he created these worlds of his, each different land for each different race, was... I got lost. I could see it. It was like there. I was there. And the storyline was great. It was like, you know, it had direction. It was he had something going. He had something going. It was great. And then the only things I didn't like was the overpowered characters, but that was like, compared to the rest of the books, that was like easy to ignore. And another thing I didn't like was all the women were the same. They were all like super like strong-willed women, and they were just like one-dimensional. And yes, I'm all for like strong women, but like they should at least be strong for different reasons. They were like exactly the same, all the women, and there weren't very many women in the first place. And then this happened. Okay, this book happened. This book, Brissinger, happened and ruined my entire thoughts that I had for this book. It was just awful. Like, why did this happen? Why was this allowed to happen? Okay. 3rd book, awful. Awful. It was obviously rushed. And sometimes people can work with rushed. You know, oh, I could tell it was rushed, but the storyline was pretty okay. No, that did not happen. The storyline was crap. He threw in like a solution to all the problems, just like some random solution that had nothing to do with the rest of the other 2 books, and expected it to be okay. No, that's not okay. That was awful. That was horrible. Ugh. Anyways, it wasn't thought out. It was as bad as the movie. Ugh, okay. So the first two books, okay, 10 out of 10. I would say go out buy those two books right now because they were fantastic. They were worth my time. I will read them over and over. Third book, might as well read it, but you will see how disappointed I was if you just read it. If you like know books at all and how to judge books, oh, you would so agree with me. It was so horrible. And the movie, this happened too, and I don't know why. The only reason anybody should like this book is if they were like 5 years old and never read the books. If you read the books and then watched that movie, you would be horrified. You would be devastated. You would be like, why did this happen? Ugh. Anyways, let me tell you a little about this movie. Okay. They changed events, which is okay sometimes. You can't always fit everything in. But they changed like major events that didn't even need to be changed at all. Dwarves didn't look like dwarves and elves didn't look like elves. Did Paolini have anything to do with this? They butchered his book. They butchered it. And okay, this was horrible. I'm sorry. And like this is the thing that killed me. I watched that what is it, like the commentaries, and this is what killed me. They purposely didn't give the elves elf ears. You know, long pointed ears. They purposely didn't give elves elf ears. Does that make any sense to you? I don't care if you use paper. How do you not give elves elf ears and think it's okay? They like that makes no sense to me at all. I was really disappointed because if they just followed the book, they just took a little extra time making elves look like elves and dwarves look like dwarves, which isn't hard because there's some guy at my school who dresses up like an elf. So I'm pretty sure that freaking people who are getting paid a lot of money to make a movie couldn't just take some glue and plastic and make elf ears. That was just one thing that stuck out to me, but like if you read the books and then read the movie, you would nitpick the crap out of this because it was horrible. Okay, I'm done with my rant. But really, if you guys really want to check out the books, I suggest you do, because the first two were amazing, absolutely fantastic, and the third sucked. But I'm hoping with the fourth, maybe he fixes it. If there is a fourth, because I know the series isn't finished. And then I think they should just pretend this never happened and remake it, because yeah, it was horrible. And like Braun was supposed to be like an old man, and he wasn't. He was some youngster. Well, he wasn't young, but he was like sexy, like in an older man looking way, like George Clooney. Anyways, that's all I had to say. It was awful. The last book and the movie was awful, but the first two definitely worth reading, definitely worth your time. Even though it's a young adult series, I'm inspired by his detail, especially how he described the dwarven land and the elven land. I was amazed. And the storyline, I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the characters and everything. So it was definitely a good read, except for when you get to the third book. And if you guys notice, I'm wearing one earring. I made it myself, so don't make any like funny comments. I'm actually wearing another earring too, which is a pearl. So yes, that's just how I do. Anyways, have a good day. Check out the books. I highly recommend the first two, and just if you want to see more of me and you want to interact with me, I have a Facebook page which I will post below. Just like it and share any like fantasy updates you have. Share any like photos you have that have to do with the fantasy science fiction like topics, like if you went to a convention or if you went to like a read, or like, you know how authors sometimes they read their books out loud and answer questions, a book signing, whatever. You know, just share with me, have fun with me, interact with me. I will put my Facebook page below, and thank you for your time, and I love you guys. Okay, bye.